Welcome along to round 14 and we are off to Zandvoort. We are now pulling clear of Red Bull, who are in second with 417. Drivers' Championship definitely want to get Theo into P2, but I tell you what, Lance Stroll is looking pretty unstoppable right now. And what makes it more unstoppable is the products that we've still got to come. Yes, we've got a new front wing for both cars, which make absolutely a massive difference. Look at that over there, 0.24, 0.18, 0.10. It is set to be a massive increase, especially for car 2. We've also got one rear wing that is available, and that's definitely going to go on to Stroll to make sure he guarantees himself a potential win. This season has been heavy on this year. We've got a chance to win the championship, and that is what we want to take on board. We have got our performance targets to do. Reach Q3, reach Q2. Of course, we'll be expecting both cars to get through in this exciting season, and also a fastest lap. Can we get another beautiful race? We're off to Zandvoort. We've got practice, we've got qualifying, and the race to come. Let's get through that and bring you back. Hopefully some dry conditions, let's find out. It is rain and heavy rain for the race. This could be very interesting. So here we go then, welcome to this qualifying session as we get underway. Now expecting a dry session here, so what we're going to do is get some early times on the board. Let's just make a check, and yes, it's going to be dry all the way through. So let's get our first sort of lap times in. Let's see what we're dealing with here at Zandvoort. We've got Russell just coming out the pits. Don't think he's held us up too much. It's going to be purple. 10.1. It is 2 tenths off for Porsche. That's not too bad. Let's get the first few laps over and see what is out there. Where is Verstappen and Leclerc going to put themselves, and are they going to be in a fight? Russell is 6 tenths back at the moment in Q1. Red Bull split us. Verstappen only 1.5 tenths back. Leclerc not yet put a time in, but they're looking in the mix. So just coming to the end of qualifying, Leclerc is going to survive just. He got blocked when he came out of the pits and ended up all the way down in what is P14. So only just scraping through. Charles Leclerc, he is a lucky boy to be getting through. We're off to Q2. Max Verstappen split us last time round. Expecting, obviously, no problems with the weather. So let's get both cars out again. We'll obviously go on board for the final run of Q3. Make sure we've got a good time. We're going to get a clear lap. Nobody's come out yet, which is interesting. And Porsche and Stroll cross the line. A 10.5 and a 10.4 for Porsche. So brilliant times. I'm happy with that. Can't remember what we did in Q1, but that is fine for me. Verstappen's just coming out now to set a time. Let's see what he's got in Q2 as he is now underway. Bottas 5 tenths down. Verstappen puts himself already just ahead of us. They are in the mix. And as we come to the end of the session in Q2, we got through with the least dramas. It is Vasseur going out in the Haas early. Magnussen's out, Bottas is out, Giovinazzi is out. And we are P2, P3. We've got to find some time though then to Max Verstappen. Heavy rain on the Sunday, which could make it very, very interesting race indeed. We're going to go out early. We're going to get these lap times in. And then, like I said, final lap we will be coming as we go for the shootout. We aren't going to get held up. Porsche should get a nice little tow here. Maybe a little bit too close, but Stroll, he improves, and he improves nicely, I think. A 10.2 is the fastest that we have seen. 10.4 for Porsche. Let's take a look across the line what Verstappen does first time round. And Max Verstappen and Leclerc. Leclerc's a second off the pace. Verstappen, where's he going to go? He's going to come round now, cross the line. P2, he splits us. So here we go then. It is time for a run. Come on, boys. It is time to get Porsche ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen is on his outlap. He is further up the track than we are. We are going to check out the intervals so that we can see, or the sectors, I always call it the interval. So Leclerc is improving here. Leclerc is currently going green, and green again. So it might not be good enough then for pole position. Verstappen is about to start his lap. Leclerc's about to cross the line now. Leclerc only goes P6. They are struggling, Red Bull. But Let's find out what we can do. Verstappen is going to get to the first sector before we are, because we're only just starting our lap now. Let's take a look though and follow Max Verstappen, who goes green. We've got a car ahead of us, which is the Ferrari. Hopefully he gets out the way. If he's a car, yes he is. If he's a car, literally is a car. Purple for Stroll, first sector. That's what we need. Porsche, what's he going to do through the first sector? He's improving. 24.3 versus a 24.4, 10th down. Verstappen hasn't improved through the middle, and he hasn't improved over the line. Max Verstappen stays P2. Stroll's gone purple. This is looking good. Middle sector, 24.4. He's there. Porsche is there. Porsche stays. Provisional pole. Across the line we go. 3/10 clear of Max Verstappen. Theo Porsche rounds the bank turn now. Coming down the straight. Can he put himself on the front row of the grid? Crosses the line. He doesn't improve. He stays P3. We have a Red Bull on the front row. We've got a Red Bull down as well in P8. It was close, and what a time. Literally 3.5 tenths quicker from Lance Stroll. That is beautiful, and we're about to get racing as well. Hopefully we can steal some points away from Max Verstappen, who will be ready. And look at this. Interesting. Softs. Gotta be. Is that heavy rain? I think it is, but I'm gonna put inters on. I'm gonna follow that, because if I can go to wets, if I want to go to wets, no problem. And I feel like this is gonna be, if that's not gonna drag out too much, then I think maybe mediums for Porsche. Just drag it, just in case. But here we go. Oh no, I think Stroll mediums. I just don't think that's worth doing. I think just protect it in case this rain inches out a little bit. Let's go with that. I'm feeling confident in our strategy. Why not? We've been so good all season. I think this is the way that we go. For the Dutch GP, can we score the big points? Come on, boys. There we go. Line astern. Rain in this race to come as well. Let's see what we have got. We are away. Porsche. We're going to put him on to high aggression. He's been overtaken. He's had a bad start. Porsche trying to get ahead of P3 of Drogovic. Squeezes him out. He's going to stay ahead, but he's on the soft tyres. And look at the acceleration that that car gets. And we are down to P4. There is a lot of soft tyres out there. Maybe we should have gone for the softs. Let's take a look though as we come through and lead the pack away. It's Stroll, Verstappen, Drogovic, Porsche, Norris and Russell, with Leclerc down in 9th. Let's just pause it there and take a look at the weather though. That weather is going to ramp up very quickly over a couple of laps. Could see us go to wet tyres for a little bit and then come back down to soft. So you are looking at around lap 25 where we want to be on the mediums. And now we could have made a good strategy call here. Could have made a good strategy call as we go down the straight for the first time, and it looked like Max Verstappen was right with us. He was. We've managed to hold off. Porsche is currently P3, trying to fight that Haas back. That Haas has been an ever improver this season. It's just for sure has not improved too much. But P1, P4 at the moment. We are going to eventually cruise these down, but having the mediums means we can push more and we can protect as well. Softs mean that they have to pit when they do. Usually the AI get it right though. That could be the same this time round. We're going to top up. We're going to be vulnerable. There's nothing we can do here. Verstappen's going to be very quick. We do set the fastest lap of the race though. We're going to chill back on the fuel. Drogovic has already dropped a second. P1 and P4. Got to keep this in. Got to keep within a second. Here we go, look. Verstappen fancying getting Red Bull back in the points this week. And he's coming at us. Is he going to make a move down the inside? Yes, he is. To the outside they go. Who's going to take it before the DRS line? I think the Red Bull has got it. And I think the Red Bull has got DRS. And he has. It's going to leave us absolutely adrift. Pourchaire, though, round the outside, got the inside line for the next corner, and that is going to mean that he gets up to P3. So, bit of a loss from Stroll, losing out, and we are going to gain that time back. So, standard, we are going to push now. We're going to look after. Verstappen's obviously pushing with the softs, but I've got to hope that I've got it right for when this rain comes in, because this rain is not due for a while yet. Only on lap 4 though. And here's a move that I didn't expect to happen just yet. Stroll did get past Verstappen. Verstappen has now come back at him and does squeak ahead. Verstappen just getting back ahead of Stroll. Stroll literally just got him round the first corner. The acceleration on the soft tyres and the inside line for the next corner. And Verstappen squeaked on back by. And you can see they're side by side again. Can we get back ahead? These mediums are working well. Verstappen still through. Drogovic has dropped massively here. And I feel like Pourchaire has got to do some attacking. Got to start closing that gap. Stroll sitting comfortable behind at the moment, but DRS now is going to provide a massive opportunity for a move. As we go down the straight, we take P1. Here we go as well. It's like a mirror. We're into P3 and we can potentially start to get out of sight. Maybe Verstappen just looking after their mediums. Pourchaire already gained a second. Verstappen is not going anywhere though. We're not pushing the tyres. Pourchaire's 4.3 seconds off the pace, 4 tenths to Verstappen. He's going to be right there all the time. As now, it'll be another attempt down the straight for Max. 4 tenths, less than 4 tenths, as he already coming along the line, and he moves back ahead. Mediums versus softs, remember. Verstappen getting past. Big race this for Red Bull to keep their championship hopes, you could argue, alive. On lap 12, he's back ahead. What's the weather doing though? Still around lap 25 is the rain coming in, and I think it could potentially be full wets and then a run to inters or softs at the end. But again, we queue back up behind Max. We're just waiting patiently in P2, and off the corner we go. It's going to be to in and fro in all day. Stroll's back in the lead. Beautiful move. Pourchaire's 5.4, not really keeping up the pace as these Stroll and Max Verstappen absolutely go hammer and tongue out front. This will eventually calm down, you would think. Tyres, 58% for Verstappen. If he has to pit for softs again before the wets, that's going to be massively advantageous for us. As we go round, imagine Max Verstappen will be getting through down the straight again as he comes round the final corner. And then here we go, suddenly ahead. Every lap we're going to be to in and fro in as he gets back ahead. Russell is running fast on the softs. We are one of the few cars at the top who are on mediums. But the weather is on its way here in Zandvoort. It's starting to rain then. So starting to rain on lap 16. Now we said that the soft tyres of the AI, they usually get it pretty good. And at the minute, these rain is coming in. It's coming in early, but the question is, when do we pit? Do we go for inters? Do we go for wets? That's the question. We're going to have a lot of fuel, and it is going to be light rain for a while. It's that heavy rain in 12 minutes that's going to be the problem. And it's whether or not we can just hang it out there without having to go to inters. But DRS is going to be enabled all the time until it goes to damp, and that's going to aid us getting through past Max Verstappen again. But soft tyres, again, traction makes it a lot easier. Let's move aggressive on the mediums. Try and close this gap. Try and use some fuel as well, because he's only got Russell just over a tenth behind Pourchaire. Stroll is bang there. Let's try and get back past whilst DRS is available. Let's try and close this gap. Let's try and push Pourchaire. And I think we can start to push these tyres a little bit as well. Down the straight we go. Here's another move. Every lap it's the same. We're back ahead. Pourchaire's actively struggling against these soft tyres, and he is pushing at the moment. But he is keeping Russell at bay. 0.3 millimeters of rain on the track so far. That is what's going to really start coming at us. Stroll we've pushed. We've gained nearly a second on Stroll. We have gained a second on Verstappen, sorry. So that's a nice little bit of move out front of pace. And now Pourchaire is coming as well, who has just got nearly a second. Can he get a second as he crosses? Yes, he can. So we can top up. We can keep the pressure on and go back to standard. Still got to wait this out. Still got another 5 laps or so until this changes around. This rain is really starting to pick up. And it is going to go heavy rain now. It is got to be. We're going to just try and check the millimetre rain. It is going up. Remember, the track's still dry here. It said around lap 25, which is the next lap. The question is, do we come in this lap or do we come in next lap? I'm going to absolutely tank this and come in next lap. Same with Pourchaire. I'm going to absolutely tank him on the way. And we're going to go next lap. You can guarantee that Max Verstappen will pit this lap. And he doesn't. Good news. We're going to go to wets. Pourchaire will go to wets as well. So maybe we could have just got away with the softs. As now we carry on. 0.9. The track's still dry enough at the minute. But I feel like this heavy rain is going to be the absolute flaw if we don't work the wet tyres. It's about to go damp and it's picking up very quickly, as you can see. So rain is in. Rain is in. And it's coming hard. We've pushed Stroll. He's gained good ground now on Max. Pourchaire with pushing as well. We need to get Stroll in the pits. There could be chances of sliding, and he's in comfortably. Verstappen should surely pit now, and he does. And then we're going to cruise on our wet tyres, see what we can do. 4.2. It's not a great stop, but he's out ahead of Max. Stroll had a small pit stop issue. 3.1 for Pourchaire. That's a lot better. Lot better. We're going to top up as this rain absolutely hammers him. Everybody is in the pits, as you can see. Let's top up on both. Can we get Verstappen back, though? That is going to be key. Tyres are in temperature now. What about Pourchaire? 7.5 seconds to find, though. He's got his tyres in. We don't want to burn these tyres at all. But there's good gaps now. There's the field have separated out. So it's literally some of the worst conditions I have seen. 5.6 millimetres of wet out there. Getting worse all the time as well. It is absolutely chucking it down. Pourchaire can't actually climb at the moment either. I mean, we could stick him on attack mode and see if he can pull 9 seconds down to Verstappen. But he just hasn't got the confidence at the moment to do so. We will push him and see what happens. The track look, as you can see, is at its peak at the moment. It's going to drop. And then at lap 55, this track is going to be dry. So if that's the case, lap 54 needs to be the lap that we pit. Or even lap 53 and go to the soft tyres. So we've got to try and hang in there for that many laps. We're going aggressive on Stroll to try and keep building that gap. Now you can see 8.3 seconds is currently the gap that we've got from Pourchaire to Verstappen. We are trying to close that. Tyres are getting warm. We don't want to burn these out, but we are closing a little bit as we come round the straight. We don't want to be caused into any sort of accident, but we've got to close that gap. We want to take some points off Max. It is gloomy here in Zandvoort, and already we've got it down to 7 seconds. Maybe gives confidence to Pourchaire to keep on attacking. Risky business, but if we can just find some time. 7 seconds now. Drogovic has got the fastest time. We will not be beating that until the end. But 6.7 is the gap. So we have got some slight ERS damage for Pourchaire using some older parts. Inters are now quicker than wets, by the way. This is dangerous. Verstappen has pit. Leclerc is pit. Everybody, we missed it. We were just completely in a world of our own. And now everyone has got inters. I was thinking we could try and hold it out till it got dry, but they have jumped early and we are in now with Stroll. We've gone a lap longer than I would have liked, but we are going to struggle with this. The track's drying quite quickly, but we are out. Verstappen is coming round that first corner now, and we are currently behind. That's how much time we've lost. That is not good. Porsche luckily comes out in P3, but that is even not going to be too good. We're going to tap these tyres though. We're going to top up all the time too, because the track is drying out. It is damp. You can see 2mm less now. And we've got massive gap. That was a bad mistake, not noticing the weather changes quick. 1.4 seconds Stroll to Verstappen. We've handed the initiative back to Red Bull. And we've got to try and look at the tyres as well here. So look at this. This is going to get lap 53 now is going to be dry. The question is, how long do softs last? Apparently 35 laps. We haven't got any. We've only got hards. We'll decide closer to the time what we do. But 1.6 seconds is the gap as we push these intermediates. Let's keep topping up actually. I'll take P1 and P3, P2, P3. But we should have an advantage over this car of Red Bull once this track gets to dry. Maybe we should have started on the softs, because I'm sure a lot of people will go to mediums next and we don't have mediums available. Down the straight we go. 1.3 seconds is the gap. We are attacking because these are going to come off pretty quickly. We should be able to run some softs though, I would have thought. Yellow flag is out. We've got an AlphaTauri in the way. Move out the way. Danny Rick has spun. We lost a couple of attempts there. Not what we would have liked. We're trying to push through again. 1.4 seconds is the gap closing down. Yes, it is. Porsche is going to do a lot to close from there. We're trying to push him, but just not closing enough. So we are right behind Max Verstappen, and even better now, we are back ahead. We are pushing these tyres, these intermediates. It is dry, 0.94. Still obviously damp in a way, but we've got past Max Verstappen. We need to stretch it out because we used mediums at the start. We need to get the softs managing as best as we can. Obviously, as it stands, that's going to be fairly tough. Gasly Leclerc pit. I think we just try and eke out an extra lap or so here. I know it's not the best strategy, I know. These are all going to go on to softs now. Mediums, that's our worry. Softs for Leclerc. 15 seconds Porsche is back, by the way. That is huge. So Stroll, I think we pushed him this lap. And I think Porsche will cover off and pit now. Verstappen's in. So we've got to go with Porsche. It might only be P3 this week for Porsche, but we kind of made our match here. As we go through a pit crew, we have got, coming back out, Porsche. Norris pit, which was good. Gasly well behind. So Porsche slots into P3. We're going to bring these tyres up to speed and then quickly put them back down to standard. 19 seconds to Verstappen. He's on the medium tyres. I think we haven't timed it great again, but he is already in. So let's see where he's going to end up. Let's go on Verstappen, who's coming around the final couple of corners and the bank turn. Stroll is in 3.5 seconds. I think Verstappen might hit the front here, and there he goes. Max Verstappen back ahead, but we are on the soft tyres. I am going to just go down to standard early on and top up and let the soft tyres just have a little bit of space and protect them. What I might do as well is just to protect them, driving clean air with Stroll. Let's monitor the gap though. It is currently though not too bad. P2, P3. And there has been a crash on the track. Gasly and Norris, it looks like, who were level. Let's find out who it is. It is Gasly and Norris. Into turn one they go. Just turned in. Big slide. And they have a little bit of coming together. Gap out front. 1.6 seconds. 1.5. Verstappen pushing the mediums. We are not pushing too much. We've just got Valtteri Bottas with the fastest lap of the race. We've just got to keep that closing down. Porsche Comfortable P3. It's not going to be P2 for him today. We've got to hope that we can catch Verstappen back up later in the race as we protect these tyres. We can go to the end. We've just got to do some protection, and it's going to be another crazy weather race. So we shouldn't really do it, but I am going to set a fastest lap, because if we are naturally going to come second here to Max Verstappen, then I want our fastest lap to go with it, and we'll just take a lap of performance out of the tyres. We might get held up a little bit at the end of this lap as we try and close the gap on Verstappen, but Porsche is bang there, comfortable as it is. We'll probably actually get DRS down the straight, which might help us close, because that gap is now just around a second. If we can get it under a second, DRS will be available, and it should see us get the fastest lap of the race quite comfortably. 8 tenths now, that will surely see us get the fastest lap, and that DRS will now open as well, which will make it even faster, and we are into P2, sitting right behind as well. Let's just cut him back there. Good performance. Look at that, Porsche 19.7 seconds behind. Absolutely shocking. He's had a tough race through no fault of his own really, but that Red Bull is back with a bang, quite literally, and it's looking pretty strong. It's soft versus mediums. We try and hang it out. We're obviously not pushing, but we've got a great chance under DRS here to move back ahead as we come down the straight, and we're back to this game of cat and mouse. He is through though into P1 on the soft tyres with the inside line. Great little move by Stroll. We're back ahead, and Max Verstappen has to watch for now. So with 2 laps to go, Max Verstappen's just got us. He is ahead of us. Now we've got a full power unit. We've probably got an attack of tyres that we can use as well. So let's push back again and try and get this back. We have got the fastest lap. We have got an Alpine ahead of us who could give Max DRS. It could give us DRS though, because we're already coming. We're already coming past Max. Max fights back though. Stroll continues through. There's going to be a back marker in the way. It helps us perfectly. And as we set out onto this last lap, we both got DRS, I think there. We did. And now, final lap, it's going to be an attack to the finish. Let's push Porsche anyway. He's 23 seconds back. It's quite substantial. There is, though, Stroll ahead of Verstappen. It's perfectly timed. Verstappen got us on the lap before. We come flying back on the the penultimate lap as we started the final lap. We've already pulled clear. We were just holding back. Probably Red Bull's worst nightmare. Hold back the power, and then suddenly, when you want to go, you just release the trigger. We've given everything in this race. We've got a purple first sector as well to go with it. We're going to cross the line though for Lance Stroll, who takes first place. Get in, Lance. Max Verstappen can only manage P2 on the mediums. Our strategy did work in the end, even if we wasn't strong enough in the wet with our decision making. Porsche's going to round off the podium that we never get to see, and he comes home in P3. Leclerc is a car that's going to come home P4. It's a Williams and Red Bull front four yet again this season. More points in the bag for us. Great win for Stroll, and he's probably now got one hand on that championship. He's flying away with it. Absolutely flying. Stroll takes it and the fastest lap. Look at that, second clear over everybody else. 26 points for Max Verstappen, taking 3 more than Porsche. And in the constructors, another 11 points for Williams brings us up to 41. We are 140 points ahead. We are laughing at the moment. Red Bull have only won 2 races. We have won 12. It's been phenomenal. No surprise that we didn't get any fastest lap in that after a 4.2. But no coinage in the bank. It's looking good this season, Williams. Looking very good as we sit top of the pile. 587, and Stroll now 101 points ahead of Max. Can Theo get Max Verstappen? No, that would round off a phenomenal championship. It is off to round 15 in Imola, Italy and Monza. Not Imola, we've already had that one, of course. But we go off to Italy to see what we can do next.